Hey, welcome back to Project Manuals. I am so happy to see you guys today. We've got a treat. If you saw my last video where we cooked ground beef, kind of went through some of the basics, I told you there would be lasagna. A good friend of mine messaged me after the page got started up and asked if I would do a lasagna walkthrough, and I am happy to for those of you that love Italian food. All right, guys, so this is super cut and dry. You're gonna need these things right here. And the ingredient list is very simple, whatever size casserole pan you like. I do like to keep mine on a sheet pan just in case anything bubbles over. You're gonna need your ground beef. If it's not browned off, you'll want to go ahead and do that. Mine is already browned off, just again, like the meal prep video, so that you don't have to take the time to watch me go through that step. And then I do usually buy normal lasagna noodles. I don't know if you guys have been in a pasta department. If you've been through a pasta aisle lately, but the shelves are wiped off. So if you're not making your pasta yourself, you may just kind of be stuck with what they've got. They did have the oven ready lasagna, so it actually saves us a step, and it was pretty affordable as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into the recipe. It's just layering, very, very simple. And then on that list of things that you'll need, I got off track. You will need several spoons. I've got ricotta. If you don't have ricotta, cottage cheese, either in its natural form or thrown through a blender or food processor, will make it creamier and like a thicker texture, just like the ricotta. You're welcome to do that. I've got mozzarella cheese, the red sauce that we like, and an Italian seasoning. All right, let's go. This is not a fancy lasagna recipe. And I know if you've had lasagna, you've had a million lasagnas. But this is just my comfort food, the one my mama made, the one I was raised on. So this is the one that my sister and I usually make. All right. So I like to spray my pan just with a little bit of olive oil cooking spray, just to make sure that the noodles don't stick. Okay. And then you'll just lay these in here. Just side by side. I think you can probably get, I was going to say 3, but you may be able to get 4. Yeah, it looks like you can get 4 in there. And then don't forget about the top. And this is an 8, this is a little bit of a bigger casserole dish, but I can usually get about a double serving in here. So that is the reason that I use it. So from here, we're going to go ahead and put a layer of ground beef down. And with lasagna, it is layered, so you're gonna go over this a couple times. Don't worry about making sure there's, you know, a ton of ground beef on this first layer, because you're gonna have a couple layers of meat. We've got the Prego Farmers Market Marinara. Once your first layer of marinara is down, we're going to go through with the ricotta. And it's just very similar to what I told you in the meal prep video. Just make sure, you know, slow and steady wins the race. You'd rather have enough for everything than to go putting it on too heavy and end up with no ricotta for the second level. This does not have to be perfect. This is gonna ooze up and be just gooey and cheesy and delicious here in, probably 40 minutes or so. And with it being gooey and super tasty, you do not need to worry about perfection. If you were gonna do it with a meal, lasagna is not it. All right, we've got that. And from there, we've got some mozzarella cheese. Go ahead and build that layer. And then we start our second layer of pasta noodles. Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot a step. All right, so we've got Italian seasoning here. I know that there is some in the sauce, but guys, I just love this flavor. I always sort of go heavy on Italian seasoning. All right, now it's time for this step. This is our finished product, guys. So it is just that easy, just super quick throw together. Now this is gonna go into the oven for about 30 minutes with the foil on. After that first 30 minutes, we're gonna pull the foil and it's gonna go 10 to 15 minutes longer until the cheese is as bubbly or delicious and melted up as you would like for it to be. If you want it to get a little crisp, go ahead and get that done. So a helpful tip on aluminum foil when you're dealing with a cheesy casserole. If you already saw this on my meal prep video, go ahead and shoot ahead. If you did not, just tent the foil. So what that means is we're just gonna make it like a little tent. Just pull it up in the middle, to the sides, and sort of pin it down and just make sure, I think I just made a mess. Just make sure that your foil is not touching your cheese. If it is, when you pull that foil, all the cheese is gonna come right off that casserole too. So that's the reason. The foil doesn't look pretty, but we don't care. We're gonna throw it away after this. All right, 350, 30 minutes. We'll see you back shortly. Guys, dinner is served. And so just like that, you've got lasagna. If this was helpful for you, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you know when the next video drops. Guys, enjoy dinner. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. All right, guys, it's dinner time. This looks delicious. Now, just something really quick about this lasagna. I know that I had told you I hadn't used the oven-ready lasagna noodles before, and I hadn't. And I probably should have read the directions, but they do take a little bit longer in the oven than the ones that you boil and that are already cooked. So I did have to put it back in after I thought that the video was over. I think I put it in for another 20 minutes or so. There's a degree on the back of the box. If you use those noodles and you're not used to them, please read them so you know what you're doing. I can make the mistakes so that you know and you don't have to make the same ones. But I'm super excited about this, you guys. It's not very often that I eat pasta, and I am very, very excited. Guys, that tastes like my whole childhood. When I tell you that lasagna was one of my favorite meals from the time that I was like 3 years old, it was one of my favorite meals and I love it still. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out. Guys, dinner is served. Oh!